Right, today is Tuesday, and in our maths today, we are going to be estimating and approximating between imperial and metric measures. Now, let's have a look at what we mean by imperial and metric measures. The metric system. So these are different ways of measuring, and there are two different systems in the world. One of them is the metric system. So that is what we've been using, and it's all our measures for weight like kilograms and grams, and for length like centimetre and metre and kilometre, and for temperature we use degrees Celsius. So all the measures that we use in school are the metric system. But in other places in the world they use the imperial system. Okay, and you might have heard of this. You might have heard of someone saying, what's your weight in pounds and ounces? Maybe you've done some cooking and the instructions aren't in grams and kilograms, they're in pounds and ounces. Maybe you've seen measurements in inches and measurements in miles instead of kilometres. So even though we often use the metric system, that's the one that we use in school, you will hear and see use of the imperial system as well. So it's important that you can convert between the two. That's what we're going to do today. So a lot of the world, as you can see, uses the metric system, but you will see that countries such as the United States use the imperial system. So if you are driving a car in the United States, all of the distances will be in miles. If you go to the shops there, you'll be weighing things in ounces and pounds. So other different places that you go to will use different systems. Okay, so today when we convert between these, we're going to use kind of approximates. We're going to be kind of estimating a bit as well, so we don't have to be 100% accurate, and that's because you can't nicely convert between the two without having lots of decimal points and things. It doesn't work as it does converting between metric ones. So we're going to be converting between litres and gallons for capacity, pounds and kilograms for weight, and inches versus centimetres for height and length. Okay, so let's have a little look here, and these pages in your activity booklet will be really useful today when you are converting. So if we're converting between capacity, so there are just under 4 litres in 1 gallon. So for today we're going to say 4 litres is the same as 1 gallon. Okay, we don't have to be too accurate today. So if we're converting gallons to litres, we've got to multiply by 4. And if we're converting litres to gallons, we've got to divide by 4. We can also use this as well. If we've got something that is 8 litres, that's going to be approximately 2 gallons. Okay, and that works if we double as well. So using this today for converting capacity. Let's have a look at weight. So there are just over 2 pounds in 1 kilogram. So 2 pounds equals 1 kilogram. So to convert pounds to kilograms, you divide by 2. To convert kilograms to pounds, you multiply by 2. That's quite a nice simple one because you're just doubling and halving those. Okay. And finally, we've got length. So centimetres to inches. This is a bit trickier because we've got a half here. So 2.5 centimetres is approximately 1 inch. So centimetres to inches, you're going to divide by 2.5. Inches to centimetres, you're going to multiply by 2.5. So you might need a calculator today if you're doing this. This is useful as well. So if we know something is 5 centimetres, that's going to be roughly 2 inches. And again, if we double 10 centimetres to 4 inches. Now, your task today should be a bit of fun. It says at the bottom, yes, I know some of these might be tricky, difficult, or impossible. They might also be a little fun too. Take some photos of how you work these out. Okay, so what we want you to do is in the 3 different areas, we want you to find some different capacities, weights, and heights, and find them in litres and gallons, pounds and kilograms, centimetres and inches. Okay, right. So you can work through all of these. Don't forget you'll need to estimate a bit as well. For some of them you'll be able to measure and be nice and accurate. Okay, but some of them might need a bit of an estimate, like the bathtub. Okay, you don't need to be filling up a bathtub and measuring the full capacity. Okay, you could put in a litre of water into the bathtub and then have a look at it and think, right, approximately how many litres do I think would fill it? And you can do an estimate and have a go with that. Okay, right, let's have a look at one here. So I have here one of these big, you know what these look like, these big gallon drums that you get your water in. And handily it says on here that this, upside down, is 5 gallons. Okay, so if this is a 5 gallon capacity, to convert from gallons to litres, I need to multiply by 4. Okay, so 5 times 4, that is going to be approximately 20 litres in there. Right, so the next one is one of these big bottles of fizzy drink. If you don't have a bottle of fizzy drink, that's absolutely fine. You might have a bottle of juice or a bottle of water or something like that. So I happen to have a big bottle of Coke, and this is 1.25 litres. So to convert from litres to gallons, I've got to divide by 4. So 1.25 divided by 4, you can use a calculator to do this, is approximately 0.3, so 3/10 of a gallon in that bottle. Okay, so these are your tasks today. You're going to have to chat with family members. If you don't have a pet, you could use a soft toy and just measure like a soft toy animal that you have. You might need to, your parents might know their height in one of those. So have a bit of fun today, just getting used to using those different measures, using the imperial and the metric, and having a go at converting between them as well.